How do you feel about the fact that the president does not have any checks and balances on whether or not he can launch nukes?
I'm very glad you asked that question, Curator. I believe that we should decrease the amount of nuclear stockpile that we have due to that, because if a president decides to do something so asinine and impulsive, we need to have the least amount of weapons that can do the least amount of damage.
Well, here's the deal. Here's why you're wrong. Well, we have never elected a president who would do that, first of all. Second of all, we should probably be stockpiling weapons, because let's face it, the Koreans are basically psychotic, so.
Well, first of all, they've had 4 failed missile tests. That's not really a threat. And second of all, you cannot make assumptions about the kind of presidents we're going to elect in the future.
Decisions made on this hair trigger can cause confusion. How do you think we should deal with these issues?
I'm very enthused that you proposed that valuable inquiry. See, if countries are in such confusion after initiating this hair trigger alert, and everyone's going to be so confused, if we keep shooting off weapons we have access to, we're not going to have time to amend this confusion and solve the problem.
Imagine this. Your 5-year-old cousin is playing with Legos. You strike this child. He begins to throw these Legos at you. Now he's confused and he's scared. You gotta start throwing Legos back, alright? He's not gonna stop throwing Legos. You gotta keep throwing Legos. Alright? Until he stops. You throw Legos at that child until he submits.
This is a personal problem.
Miss Cianetti, I would advise you to stay away from my personal life.
Can you just, Mr. Taylor, can you restate that so the audience understands?
Yeah, so if a country is like shooting at us, right? And
Right.
we're all just a little confused, they're not gonna stop. So we gotta keep shooting. As long as they keep shooting. We can't be the one that's like, oh, if we cease fire, they'll cease fire. Because I promise you they're not gonna do that. Yikes.
Mr. Taylor, are you an anarchist?
During the Cold War, airborne alert planes crashed around Greenland and left plutonium. How would we deal with an issue like this with our nuclear stockpiles today?
I'm feeling quite effervescent that you asked that vibrant question to us. Thank you. I think that we need to decrease our stockpiles of nuclear weaponry because accidents like this can happen at any given time, and they are lucky that the nuclear bombs didn't detonate, but it still surrounded them with something so toxic. And the less amount of weapons that we have that are capable of doing that kind of damage is in the best interest of anyone in the world.
Here's the deal. Nuclear energy plants pose the same threat. And by the looks of it, we got a lot of people who are like, hey, look at this. Energy, it's better. You know what? It is. And they're willing to take that risk. So I think it's okay.
Here's the other deal, the second deal, is that people have a choice as to whether in their communities and in their states they will have this nuclear power. However, they don't have a choice about what's going on in their government and in their militaries.
I think it's safe to assume that the agendas of the people we elect are in the best interest of our national security.
You know what assumptions do.
Yeah, I do.
Studies show that if 100 nuclear bombs were detonated, it would cause a cloud in the atmosphere that would block out the sun and cause a colossal famine.
How do we deal with that?
How do we deal with that?
Thanks for asking. So my opinion is obviously that if something so small out of all the nuclear weapons that we have as a country can cause such a dramatic and detrimental effect, we need to decrease them so that we will never actually cross that threshold into doing something so damaging. Yeah.
So Russia has 7,300 warheads. Okay, there's no way we could ever shift the blame to them, nor can we convince them to decrease nuclear stockpile. So, I mean, unless you want to send them a strongly worded letter, or go there yourself and sock Putin in the jaw.
Should we increase or decrease our nuclear stockpiles based on the fact that we deter other nations from using theirs because we have ours?
Not your best work, but I'll answer it anyways. What I think about this is that increasing them is not going to do us any good in protecting our nation because obviously, even recently, North Korea has tried to fire 4 missiles. Even though they've all failed, which is pleasing, they still tried to attack us, despite the fact that we have hundreds of times the amount of nuclear weapons that they have. Increasing them or keeping them where they are is not going to ensure any security that we don't already have.
sit down for this.
I'm saying.
You'll sit down for this, right?
Okay.
Okay. America. God bless America, right?
I'm sure.
From the time that we fought the man, took Britain by the throat, and dumped their tea, to the time when we
Is this relevant?
tortured 9/11 conspirators in Guantanamo Bay, America's always been about freedom and safety, and that is because the weapons that we have. You hear me?
Yeah.
I sure do.
If we act now, we are just showing that we believe that Russia and North Korea and Madagascar and France, for all we care, are more powerful than us. We would be the cowards. We have to act both offensively and defensively to play our cards right.
Are you aware of the fact that in the Obama administration, they put forward initiatives to decrease our amount of nuclear weapons, and no one attacked us from seeming supposedly weak?
Are you aware of the fact that the FBI pays AT&T $100 million a year for all their records? It may be irrelevant, but it's a little scary, don't you think?
I didn't bring any more questions. I was gonna ask more, but this debate is so painfully bad that I think we need to end it here. So shake hands.
Hold on.
Your hand isn't.
Okay.
Can't even handshake correctly.
Okay.
You're fired, sir.